I'm Sonam Rinzin, third year PhD student at School of Geography, Politics and Sociology at Newcastle University. My PhD is supervised by Professor Stuart Durning and Rachel Carr. So Rachel is here today with me. So I'd like to present a local perspective and experience in glacial outburst flood, that is GLOF. I will be here after using GLOF only. It's a case study from remote Lunana of Bhutan Himalayan. Okay, to begin with, firstly I would like to present this time phase model of warning and response that happens in any typical hazardous events. So here there are actually 7 points in time, starting from hazard event detection typically done by physical scientists, through emergency warning issuance by emergency manager, and then finally protective action initiation that is taken by people at risk. So in order to evacuate people during the hazard, in order to complete evacuation before the hazardous events turn into disaster. So this point in time action should be completed timely, and there are also delay time in between. We have to also reduce this delay time as much as possible. And in order to do so, it is imperative that we understand every component. We should have very good understanding of every component. But existing studies usually focus on reconstructing the physical processes and mechanisms. For example, these are some of the studies published after the catastrophic Sikkim flood of October 2023, which killed about around 70 people. Sorry, I can't remember stats clearly. So if you go through these studies, they are mostly concerned about reconstructing physical processes or constraining drivers or causes of the flood. But that is actually just one component of this time phase model that of the any hazardous event, that is hazard event detection or assessment. Unfortunately, the physical process that happened during your GLOF is very, very complex. So I actually intentionally displayed these two figures at the right. So they are so complex, even I don't understand well actually. But I'm showing here because to indicate, to signify that actually GLOF process chain, the mechanism that happens during glacial outburst flood is very complex. It is highly unpredictable and there are a lot of uncertainties. So we really actually can't predict the actual damage or loss associated with the particular process chain, GLOF process chain in the future events. So this study therefore aims to how community perceive hazard warning, then channel and source through which they receive warning and evacuation process and action taken by the at-risk individual prior to evacuation and their preparedness for future events. So specifically, we are very much focused on the social component, that is preparedness and response capability and early warning dissemination and communication part of this early warning system cycle. This is a study area. Our study is focused in Lunana, which is one of the global glacial outburst risk hotspot. I don't want to focus. One important thing that we are really motivated to choose this area is because this area already experienced 4 instances of past GLOF events, and people are really living in fear of future GLOF. So here the survey was conducted during our last field visit that was happened in September 2024. So a total of 101 households were covered. That's also actually total respondents. And we got 72 complete data. So survey was executed over 70s by 4 enumerators, including myself. So these are some of the results. So firstly, the channel and source of warning. So here we can see that usually like cell phone call, nature cues, then face-to-face from friends and family. This serve as main channel of information or first alert warning during the events. But just sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. We pretty much focus on just one event when asked these questions. And so and then people usually got those first alert warning from like family members, natural cues, and and neighbors. We also assess people's preparation and perception. As you can see in these figures, people has high perception, but their preparation to respond to the future events is not high as their perceptions. And so what people did before they evacuated actually. So some people communicated with other people through cell phone call, face-to-face communication, or many also did not communicate, they just immediately evacuated. And so they sought extra information through local officials, friends, and relatives to confirm that there is real danger from the flood. And so these are finally some of the actions taken before evacuation, including like packing stuffs and all. These are all important because this leads to the, like prolonging the delay time before evacuation. And we also ask people about their perceived reliable source of information in case of future hazard from the floods. So here again, people think that like local official or national weather, the information from local official, national weather service, and neighbor or friends are the most perceived reliable source. And then, as far as the channel of communication is concerned, they think like cell phone call and face-to-face from like authority are the most reliable channel of information. We also did some kind of qualitative interview. Uh, their preparedness to respond to the future flood. So people has house insurance. That's because every one of them has house insurance, but that's not exclusively for flooding. It's just general house insurance. Most important thing is most of the people know where to evacuate. That could be because of government's effort to advocate on danger from the flood. So we also asked some questions concerning what challenges people face during the evacuation. Nighttime evacuation is obviously the challenge for them due to reduced visibility. Environmental conditions. Lunana is located on like about 200 meters above the sea level, so environment there is very harsh. So that's also a problem for them to evacuate. And then panic and chaos led to disorganized evacuation. So one amazing thing about this is like one woman shared that actually like some people try to evacuate to other side of the river during the flood. So that's basically risking like crossing river during the events of flood. So the main conclusion is like natural indicators. Actually, Lunana has early warning system installed, but still natural indicator like loud noise, ground vibrations, and then phone calls serve as a predominant means of communication during 2019 total global events. So because of government's awareness program, people are aware of flood hazard, but uh, they are also largely prepared to evacuate. However, so their preparedness is not robust, holistic enough. That means they still need to improve their level of preparedness to further reduce damage and casualty during the flood. So here, through these studies, we are actually trying to get people's perception, people's experience, so that this can, uh, this personal knowledge and life experience can be integrated to enhance our understanding, like glories at the local community level. However, the limitation here is like getting information about a particular event is challenging, especially we choose 2019 event because they have written document on early warning issues and disseminations. However, getting accurate information is very difficult. For example, like point in time are not accurate, and many just represent just a rough approximate. For example, it could be just 5 to 10 minutes up and down, but that is a lot for people in Lunana because flooding from some glacial lake can basically arrive in their community within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so this study is actually conducted as a part of my broader PhD project to understand glacial outburst hazard and risk assessment in Bhutan Himalaya. So yeah, this is I'm looking forward to use this data into the agent-based modeling for my future work. Yeah, so this is all.